Happy Teacher Appreciation Week. We asked students which teacher they would give a Pride Bug to for showing Viking pride. Looks like all of West's teachers earned a Pride Bug.
Yo, my name's Manny, and I'm in Mr. Compton's class, and I just want to give a shout out to Manny. You know, I'm young Bako, that's who I am. But now, right now, I'm old Bako.
All right, I'm gonna say a shout out to Mrs. Smith because she's my coach and she's showing me a lot about getting through the tough times.
Shout out to Miss Davis because she nice.
Shout out to Miss Bresson because I love her and she's an awesome teacher.
Shout out to Miss Kasaya because that's my favorite teacher and I love her.
Shout out to Mr. Valverde for the best teacher ever.
Shout out to Miss Hatch because she's helped me through a lot and I love her.
I would like to give a shout out to Mr. Smith because he forgot my name.
A shout out to Mr. Diaz. Thank you for always believing in our class.
Shout out to Miss Rimmers for being an awesome teacher.
Shout out to Mr. Stein because he's my favorite teacher.
Shout out to Mr. Savage because he's a savage.
Shout out to Ms. Grider, aka Ms. Kaiser, and I don't think I would be the same without her.
I'm Kobe. This is a shout out to Ms. Teagarden. I'm her favorite student.
Shout out to Ms. Gonzalez Hooks, because she's a great teacher and she's my best friend.
A shout out to Mr. Urata, the guy that's always been there. He treats me like his own.
I want to do a shout out to Miss Newman. She always makes the class fun and she makes us feel like older adults, someone we can get along with.
Shout out to Miss Araneta because she's my mom and I love her and she's a great teacher.
Shout out to Nick Rodriguez because he's my favorite teacher and helps me with music and band all the time.
Shout out to Miss Hare. She's really cool. She always tells stories. And yeah.
Shout out to Mr. Charpentier because he's honestly one of my favorite teachers.
Shout out to Miss McGee
For stressing us out with yearbook.
It's okay though, we like your book.
Shout out to Miss Orndorff because I don't get half the stuff that she talks about. It's really easy for her to teach me.
I give a shout out to Mr. Moreau because he's the best teacher in the world.
Hey, Miss Jenkins. Shout out to you.
Shout out to Mr. Santos because he's the best Spanish teacher that ever came to West. He paid for all of our AP tests.
But shout out to Miss Morgan for being the most amazing teacher. She's very dedicated, hardworking, and like the most kindest person I can trust.
Favorite teacher is probably Mr. Willis. If you're watching this, shout out to you.
Shout out to Miss Percy. Even though we had her like ups and downs, but I really like that class.
Shout out to Giese for helping us with computer science.
Shout out to Mr. Bramer. Even though he's new teacher this year at West High, he's one of the greatest.
Shout out to Miss Tyranny. I feel like she just keeps her class fun and we're always learning something new.
Shout out to Miss Thompson. I'm not in her class anymore, but she's a really great teacher and she always tries to better her students.
Shout out to Miss Rodriguez, my favorite teacher right there.
Shout out to Miss Ariano for passing me in algebra because I would have not done it without her. I would have been still in algebra.
Shout out to Miss Christine Miller, my awesome teacher, for always being understanding.
Shout out to Mr. Torres because he's the most understanding teacher that I have.
Shout out to Mr. Mills. You gave me an A, which is cool.
Shout out to my teacher, Mr. Compton. What I like about him is that he's a really fun guy. Helps you out a lot.
Miss Rose is the best teacher and she does everything for me.
Give a shout out to Miss Owens because she always comes with that energy, always pepping everybody up, and I can match the energy, and I love it. And shout out to Miss Owens.
Shout out to Miss Horde for putting up with all the stuff that goes on campus.
Shout out for Miss Basher because she was the best biology teacher there is on campus.
Shout out to Miss Bobbitt. She's a great math teacher.
Shout out to La Señora Veronica Gonzalez. She's a really good teacher that lets us play volleyball.
I'm Kobe. I'm Miss Blumo's favorite student. I'm shouting you out.
Shout out to Mr. Banks because he's an excellent photographer.
Shout out to Mr. Oliver because he lets me make fun of him.
Shout out to Miss Trenham because she is the best teacher on campus.
Yo, what's up?
Shout out to Missy Snyder because I had you sophomore year and you were an A-OK world history teacher. So.
And here's a shout out for Mr. Coleman because he's our bestie.
Shout out to Madison because he's a good coach and teacher.
Quick shout out to Mr. Camps. He's the best PE teacher. He's always sharing positivity with people around him.
My name is Zachariah, and I want to shout out Miss Menardin because you're so gorgeous.
A shout out to Mr. Combs, the Apex teacher.
Shout out to Miss Jones, the French teacher. Thank you.
Shout out to Miss Coyle for being an inspiration and helping me with second chances.
Shout out to Miss Mays because she's an amazing teacher.
Shout out to Miss Oaks, my counselor, because she's really nice and she helps me set up all the classes I need to do.
Guys, I'm filling in for a student, so I'm going to give a shout out to Mr. Buckner because we're on a time crunch and we just can't get everybody. We got so many kids that want to do a shout out, and we're like, hey, hold on. Let me give one in there to Mr. Bugner. You know.
Shout out to Miss Bailey for giving me a 85%.
Shout out to Mr. Parks for always believing in me and being there for me.
But shout out Mr. Burdick, he's one of the best teachers.
Shout out goes to Mr. Neal for being an amazing teacher and rounding my grade.
Shout out to Mr. Frazier because he's nice and he's cool and he's funny.
I want to shout out to Miss Young because she helped me with learning English and helping with my homework.
Shouting out Miss Sparks is because she's a nice teacher.
Shout out to Mr. T, the best art teacher on campus.
Shout out to Miss Gavion because she's always there for me and she makes me do my work.
Shout out to Mr. Blazer for looking out for me in my grade.
Doing a shout out to Miss Hillen. To me, she is always giving us great advice that we can use in the future. She's not just a teacher, she inspires us.
Shout out Miss Hatch because she's my first period teacher.
Shout out to Miss Schultz for caring about the education of all the kids in our class.
Shout out to Mr. Dunham.
Shout out to Miss Kramer for being the best librarian.
Shout out Miss Rivera, best counselor out there at West High.
Shout out to Mr. Rodriguez, he's a good teacher.
Shout out to Miss Leonard for being the best U.S. history teacher ever.
Shout out Mr. Davidson for being the best athletic director of West High.
Shout out to Miss East for being one of the best PE teachers at West High.
A shout out to Miss Holmes for being the best counselor ever. I love you. You're one of the best.
I'd like to give a shout out to Mrs. Raga, the best Algebra 2 teacher out there in the world.
All right. Shout out for Miss Vasquez. She's a really nice teacher. She's good, kind, and she's my staff buddy. She's always there for you, and she's just kind-hearted.
Give a shout out to Coach Odom for always being there whenever I need him and for showing me the true art of volleyball.
Shout out to Mrs. Coughlin. You're a great counselor. You're the best one out there.
Shout out to Mrs. Weiser. She is an incredibly hardworking woman who actively tries to make all the students' lives as best they possibly could be.
Welcome back, Miss Cheney.
We want to give you a shout out for being an awesome teacher.
Shout out to Miss Wingell because I love her and then she'd be nice to me.
I would like to give a shout out to Miss Wageman because she's a good teacher to be a TA for. She's nice.
I'm Miss Kaylee. Shout out to Miss Cass Skillo because she's loving.
I'd like to give a shout out to Mr. Smith. He used to smack me on the back of the head in class, make me do my work.
I'd like to shout out Mrs. Morales for being a great teacher.
I want to give a shout out to Coach Ross, best lineman coach I know.
I'm giving a shout out to Mr. Gonzalez, pretty cool teacher.
Giving a shout out to Mr. Youngblood, the guy who does way too much for his kids, all right? That's doing too much. Just take it down a notch. Just kidding. Shout out.
Shout out to Coach O, Dino. He made health fun for me, and it was pretty fun hanging out with him. And now he's a dean. Pretty exciting.